For the last 22 days, Mehul Choksi is in the custody of Dominica police. The economic offender who fled India in 2018 after the 13,000 crore rupee PNB scam unraveled is counting down his days to return to India. As the legal battle rages on in the courts of Dominica, Republic uncovers how the scam operated. We noted his address in the FIR copy and tracked him. The mentioned address was this dingy, dilapidated building in Mumbai's Kalwa Devi area. When Republic approached him first, he was reluctant to speak. But when prodded, he revealed the entire modus operandi.
તમે હતા એમાં ડિરેક્ટર હતા તમે કે એમ જ તમારું આવી ગયું છે
નોન એક્ઝિક્યુટિવ ઇન્ડિપેન્ડન્ટ હતો
અચ્છા નોન એક્ઝિક્યુટિવ હા
રિઝાઇન આપી દીધું
અચ્છા
છતાં હવે આ લોકો તો શું છે એમને અહીંયા જે છે એને કઈ રીતે ઇન્વોલ્વ કરવા આપણે બોમ્બે
ના ના બરોબર છે અને શું એ લોકો વયા ગયા હોય તો બધા આવીને તમારે પૂછે એટલે ખાલી ખોટ ઇન્વોલ્વમેન્ટ કરવા માટે સમજી હું એવી રીતે તો સર એટલે તમારે આપ્યું તો પોઝિશન કે તમે ખાલી એમ જ
નહીં ઇન્ડિપેન્ડન્ટ એ લોકોને શું છે ઓલી ફોર્માલિટી હોય ને કંપનીની એમાં એ લોકોને કોરમ કરવા માટે જોતું હોય ગવર્મેન્ટની કે સિસ્ટમ
અચ્છા
કે તમારે ખાલી શું છે હાજરી ઓલી એટેન્ડન્સ ઓલું કોરમ
પુરાવા માટે હા
એટલે મને નોમિનલ મને 3,000 રૂપિયા આપતા હતા પહેલાં 2,500 ને પછી 2,501 મિટિંગ ને પછી 3,000 એ વર્ષમાં 4-5 મિટિંગ થાય
અચ્છા
હવે આમાં કંઈ મારો કોઈ
બરોબર છે
હું શેર હોલ્ડર હતો એમાં
અચ્છા તમે શેર હોલ્ડર હતા એમાં
એટલે હું શેર હોલ્ડરમાં આપણે મળીએ અને મિટિંગ પછી
બરોબર
એના ડાયરેક્ટર કીધું તમારે આવું હોય તો તમને કાંઈ કરવાનું નથી
હા એટલે એમાં તમારે ખાલી સાઇન કરવા માટે લઈ જતા હતા
એટલે મને કહે કે તમારે ખાલી અમારી કોરમ કરવા પૂરતું જોઈએ છે અમને
અચ્છા
તમને કંઈ કામ કરવાનું નથી કંઈ જ નથી મને આનો કોઈ મારો વિષય નથી
બરોબર છે
ફાઇનાન્સમાં કે લોકો શું કર્યું કેમ છે
બરોબર છે
આપણને ખોટી રીતે
બરોબર છે એટલે તમારા જેવા બીજા લોકોને બી સર એવી રીતે કર્યું હશે ને એ લોકો શેર હોલ્ડરને કોરમ બનાવવા માટે સાઇન કરવા લઈ જવા માટે એવા ઘણા જણને સર એવી રીતે કર્યું હતું એ લોકો
એમ્પ્લોયરને કર્યું હશે 2-3 એમ્પ્લોયરમાં કોક વખત ઓમાં મહિલાને મને ખબર પડી કે એ લોકોને બી એ સ્ટાફ હોય
બરોબર છે
કરતા હોય એટલે એને કે તમે આમાં પેલામાં આવો તમે એટલે અમને કોરમ પૂરતું જોઈએ છે
અચ્છા એટલે કોરમ પૂરું કરવા માટે એવી રીતે 4-5 લોકોને એવી રીતે કરતા હોય એ લોકો
Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Yasha is now joining me live on the broadcast. Yasha, most of that conversation was in Gujarati, so you'll have to give us the gist of what exactly that man was saying. But we do understand, like several other economic offenders, Mehul Choksi too was manipulating the loopholes in the system, and he had created proxy directors, which was a part of his modus operandi.
That's right, Suyasha. So what this person really happened to tell us was that he was just a shareholder in the company. So as of now, he's a director in 8 companies, is what we found out from our research. And what he happened to mention was that because he had attended one of the meetings of the shareholders, he happened to meet the director of the company and he was asked to be a part of the entire board of directors because they wanted to complete their quorum. Now, as we understand, as per the government mandate, they have to have a specific number of directors in the company, as a result of which they require these directors to be present during the board of directors meeting for the signature purpose. So this person told us that he was asked to be a part of this board of directors and he was informed that there'll be only a particular number of meetings that will happen throughout the year, approximately 4 to 5 of them, which he'd be expected to attend, and he'd be not really involved in any of the business activities of this particular of the particular company that he is asked to be the director of. And in lieu of that, he was paid by the company approximately 2,500 to 3,000 rupees to attend each meeting. Earlier it was approximately 2,500, and later on he was paid 3,000 rupees to attend each meeting of the company that would take place. Approximately 4 to 5 meetings would take place throughout the year. And when he was asked if there were more such dummy directors, so-called quote-unquote dummy directors that were placed in the company, he said there were a few employees also who were asked to be a part of the director board so that, they could also be made the signatory authorities when it comes to completing the quorum. Now, let's understand this entire modus operandi because we had accessed the CBI FIR of 2018, which has approximately 17 people mentioned in it. And in those 17 people, this person, Dinesh Bhatia, whom we spoke to, was the accused number 9, in which also Mehul Choksi is an accused number 6 in it. Apart from that, there are various other such people who have been mentioned as the directors of these particular companies. But really the investigation which took place in 2018 by ED, CBI as well as EOW found out that these people were actually dummy directors, because these people are staying in a dingy chawl. They were people who were picked up from middle class families and asked to be a part of directorship. So now we understand that this is what the modus operandi of the entire scam was, because it's approximately 11,400 crore rupees scam of the PNB Bank that we come across. And Mehul Choksi had picked up various such people to be a part of the board of directors, because earlier as well, when we spoke to people associated with Mehul Choksi or people who were close to Mehul Choksi, they had also informed that he was also indulging in transactions wherein there were various companies, his sister companies that were prepared, and as a result of his transactions would take place within these sister companies, and a BL would be procured so that he could get a loan in these companies. Now, what we understand is there was a well-planned modus operandi when it comes to either dummy directors or, for that matter, making these sister concerns where he could show transactions. So this entire part is a part of the entire transactions or the modus operandi of Mehul Choksi. Yes, Suyarsha.
No, but Yasha, let's try and dig into this further and unravel the details. Was this man or were these men in any way related to Mehul Choksi? And even when they were attending these meetings for an amount that you mentioned, did anybody get suspicious during this time? Did anybody try and raise their voice, or were they silenced by Mehul Choksi? Like, how exactly was this functioning?
So when we spoke to this person, what he happened to mention to us was that they were not really aware of what the working was. All these people, because they come from a lower strata of society, they were just asked to be present in the meetings, and they wouldn't really be asked to stay in touch with the company otherwise. So in that sense, they were people laymen who were picked up because they were either shareholders of the company or because they were the employees of these particular company. Now, what we understand is in various such economic offences, this is a common modus operandi that takes place when it's a bigger scam that really unravels. It is people who eventually work for these companies, or people who work for the kingpin are actually made directors or shown a party to the entire scam, wherein they are not really aware of what really is happening. Now, of course, there was a big amount that was involved in this case, but when we've spoken to this particular person whom we met yesterday, he was really not aware of what the company was happening. As a shareholder, he happened to say that because he had a particular share in the company and he was asked to be a part of the board of directors for a paltry amount, he willingly became a party to it, because at that point of time the company was growing well and he thought that he could just be there because he had a particular stake in it. Yes.
Yasha, we are trying to get more people on board to really understand what are the implications this may have as far as the legal ramifications are concerned, and what exactly lies for Mehul Choksi, and which is why it is even more important to bring all these aspects to light, to see how this man was functioning, how he duped the country, how he actually went on to with this financial fraud that he committed. And then again, Yasha, where are all these people now? These dummy directors, have they complied with the investigation that is underway against Mehul Choksi? Are they in touch with the agencies? Are the agencies also probing them? What's happening on that front?
So what we know is some of these people, dummy directors, like I mentioned that there were 17 people who were a part of the CBI FIR. Now, all these people were questioned not only by CBI, by EOW, by the ED as well, the Enforcement Directorate as well as there were several cases against them, even for that matter, at the NCLT court. So what we saw was they were repeatedly being questioned in this case. However, there were no reports of any of them being arrested, especially these dummy directors that we talk about. None of them were arrested for that matter, and even as of what we know is there were repeated questioning that would take place with them, and as of now what we know is they are staying in the particular respective addresses that has been mentioned in the particular FIR that's been accessed by us. But some of these people, while they were staying there, they were questioned. As soon as the entire scam, and I will say in 2018, was when the questioning really took place. While what we know is of the 17 people, some of them were also Also, members of the PNB Bank, they were employees of the PNB Bank, as a result of which they were questioned. While some of these dummy directors may still stay at the place that was earlier mentioned by them, but some of them have also moved out because of what they say is there have been constant questioning by the authorities to them, whereas they had no clue of what really was taking place. So they were constantly being questioned by all the authorities. As of now, while there is no current status wherein they are being questioned, because what we know is there's a team which is trying to get back Mehul Choksi, deport him and get him back to India so that he can be tried for the entire scam. But as of now, while there's no questioning that is taking place with these people, they were constantly questioned. And one of the NCLT order also happened to mention that they were let go. Yes, Yasha.
Fact remains, Yasha, like I was saying, that every little detail at this point helps to build a watertight case against Mehul Choksi, as the Indian agencies are now trying to get him back to face the law in the country. And when it comes to that battle in the Dominica court, to prove that he is still an Indian citizen, to prove that he has committed a financial fraud of over 11,000 crore rupees, and to bring him back. So every possible attempt that is being made at this point to bring him back. And Yasha, we are trying to get more details. Like I said, that a lawyer will also be joining us on the broadcast very soon. I believe Manjali Gautam should be connected with us very shortly to help us understand the kind of impact these kind of details will have as far as the legal ramifications are concerned. But I'm not too sure if she's still connected with us. So we'll hold on that one. But Yasha, we are also flashing out those details of what this man Dinesh Bhatia has said in the Mehul Choksi case, of how he reveals the modus operandi, of how he says that he was appointed as a director for mere formality. He was made a director to fulfill meeting quorum. He was paid an amount to attend these meetings, and he was not the only one. There were several such proxy directors who had been created by Mehul Choksi to actually go ahead to fraud the system. All right, I believe Swapnil Kothari is with us on the broadcast. He's joining us live. Swapnil, very good afternoon to you. I believe you've been watching all the details of this sting operation carried out by Yasha, and the proxy directors now putting out the story from their end. What they were asked to do by Mehul Choksi, they were asked to attend these meetings, the amount that they were paid for it, and this is how Mehul Choksi actually went on to fool the system for the longest time.
Hi, Suesha. Good afternoon. It's very clear that Mehul Choksi wanted to get some resolutions passed, and if the actual board of directors are not present, then he would bring in dummy directors, pay them some money, and say that the quorum is present. And because the quorum is there, the board meeting is valid. And because the board meeting is valid, the resolutions are also valid. And because the resolutions are also valid, that means he can pick money from PNB or wherever he wants to pick up, or whatever the agenda of that particular board meeting was. It's very essential for the directors to be present. There could be an alternative theory also to this, Suesha, that he never wanted some directors who were possibly honest directors in his company, and he never wanted them to be there. So he did all these things behind his back. He said that, I don't want to even tell them that there is a board meeting. I'd rather call a board meeting behind their backs and bring in some dummy people like this, some staff member, maybe even a sweeper or a pantry man, and say that this is the quorum, these are the directors, and just pass it on straight away. And not only this, but what is most surprising is that when you have these names, and I don't know what happened, he must have obviously inserted the names of that pantry man or the sweeper or whatever it is, or this dummy director. The biggest problem lies not with this man. I can do whatever I want in my company. I can try to cheat, defraud, whatever. But what is most shocking is that the people with whom he was interacting, say the PNB scam people, they also were on board with this. They sort of tend to look away, or, sort of not really inspect whether these resolutions or whether any of these things were valid, and started giving money. So completely well-orchestrated scam where millions of dollars, or should I say, yes, lots of rupees, crores of rupees, was changing hands with each other. That's the reason why he set this base. And what is also one more thing is very shocking here is that the registrar of companies here also should have looked into this. But it's a little hard to touch them simply because it's thousands of companies, lakhs of companies are giving in resolutions, filing mortgages, etc. All those forms. You can't sort of examine each and every form, especially of big companies who don't really do that. Not even of small companies, unless something comes to mind. But what is most shocking is that the PNB people were very much hand in gloves, and this was a completely well orchestrated scam. So for the people of Mehul Choksi's lawyers to say that this man was absolutely clean and he was a celebrity of sorts because he got some really Bollywood guys, attending his parties or whatever it is, like Nirav Modi did, or advertising for him, is absolute bogus, because these things were happening. He was not a celebrity; he was the wrong kind of celebrity. Let's put it that way.
Swapnil, honestly, the exact same points that you're putting out surprised me as well. How is it that everyone was putting a blind eye to it, and that too for so long? We'll talk more about the loopholes in the system, but for now, I also want to welcome Himanjali Gautam. She's a lawyer. She's joining us on the broadcast. Himanjali, given the situation at hand of how India is trying to battle this entire matter in the Dominica court to get back Mehul Choksi and put up a watertight case in this. Now, these details that have emerged, what are the kind of implications this will have as far as the legal ramifications are concerned, and will this help in building a watertight case against Mehul Choksi?
Thank you, Suesha, for giving me this opportunity, and thank you, Swapnil, sir, for explaining everything. So now, today, I'll explain the technicalities involved in this case. And there are different arguments which Choksi's counsel is taking. So first is the citizenship issue. The primary contention is the citizenship of the fugitive Mr. Choksi, who was an Indian citizen. He attained the citizenship of Antigua and Barbuda in 2017. He had made an economic contribution of a certain amount, and he's using, you can say that he's using all kind of corrupt means. He's trying to corrupt the government, the opponents. The prime minister of that country is also, he doesn't want to keep him in his country. He's in favor of sending him back to India. So Mr. Choksi's counsel argues that as per Article 9 of the Constitution of India, any Indian citizen that applies for foreign citizenship on any ground will lose their Indian citizenship by default, and that this article supersedes the citizenship rules. The Indian authorities, now what I'm going to read right now is very important. The Indian authorities counter the argument by adducing Section 23 of the Citizenship Rules 2009, which state that a declaration of renunciation of citizenship must be made by the concerned individual, and the circumstances in which the individual acquired foreign citizenship must be stated. The same is required to be ratified by the Indian authorities. The Indian authorities claim that he's still an Indian citizen, and the affidavit submitted by them include Mr. Choksi's Indian passport and other relevant documents. So now the citizenship issue has been resolved, and there are other technicalities. Now, one thing, which is troubling us a little bit, which is not that big a trouble, but it's just going to make the entire thing a little complicated. That is that, we do not have extradition treaty with that particular country. We don't have any extradition treaty with the Caribbean nation Dominica, but we already have a treaty with Antigua and Barbuda since 2001. So the essential difference between an extradition treaty and an arrangement is that a treaty is a binding written agreement, while an arrangement is a non-binding verbal agreement. Apart from that, there is another thing which is going against Mehul Choksi in this case is Interpol and Red Notice. So here, it's very important to highlight that in certain cases, countries can make use of international convention, So here, since we do not have any binding treaty, but still countries can make use of international conventions to request extraditions, provided both parties are signatories to said convention. In 2018, Interpol, the International Criminal Police Organization, had issued a red notice against Mehul Choksi. A red notice is a request to law enforcement agencies around the world to identify and temporarily detain the accused pending extradition, surrender, or similar legal action. However, it must not be confused with an international arrest warrant, and the accused is deemed innocent until proven guilty. So now, as we can see that, we have support of international community with us. The way India has emerged as a world leader in these years under the able leadership of Modi ji. So I'm sure there is a pressure of Dominica. Also, Also, we can see that the prime minister of that country is also, he's in the favor of sending him back. So it's not like, you know, on one pretext or another, because these are the old tricks. These are old tricks of all the criminals. Whenever, you know, there is an arrest warrant against them, so suddenly, you know, they develop chest pain, or, you know, everyone is doing it. So being a lawyer, being a common people, you know, we all know all these tricks. So they hide under the pretext of human rights violations. So I'm sure this time he's going to come back. So it's not India of 1980s where, you know, someone like that person who was behind Bhopal gas tragedy ran away, he never came back. But this time, I'm sure those who are guilty, they'll come back, even if they want to take shelter in any country, or they can spend thousands of crores.
Oh yes, Himanjali, and the one thing that I want to say, that the modus operandi, a classic example like Mehul Choksi, and the way they have been functioning, exhausting the loopholes in the system, manipulating the system, creating proxy directors, paying bribes to low-rank officials in banks. Swapnil, is this all coming out of a film? Because this is how it is actually being created like that. How long will they continue to just use these loopholes in the system? And this needs to be fixed in the larger picture. You have been wanting to respond on this, Swapnil. Go ahead, please.
No. The only thing I wanted to tell Himanjali is that, you know, both Suesha and Yesha and the entire Republic team is aware of the entire citizenship scenario and all of that. Today, the topic is more on the director and how he sort of hoodwinked the authorities and tried to create dummy directorships and try to pass off resolutions and gain money and garner money and create fraud. So Suesha, as you rightly pointed out, that this is much like a Hindi film or a Bollywood pot boiler. And, you know, as they say, that facts are stranger than fiction at times. And and I would suggest, Suesha, that you and your entire brilliant Republic investigative team, particularly Yesha, who's on the job on this, Yesha, please look at that FIR in a very, very thorough manner. I'm sure all the exhibits which are attached to the FIR and also other documents which the CBI is relied upon to put up this FIR, it will lead you to a lot more grime and dirt. As far as this particular thing is concerned, you might want to even visit the ROC and see whether any mortgage forms were filed, whether any of those things were there at all in the first place, or whether loan was just given without any collateral. Because when you have scams of this nature, I would want to know as to what alarming proportion was this taken place. So all of these things can also go back to the Indian authorities who are fighting this case out in Dominica. And Suesha, just to be very objective on this, we are all very hopeful that he gets shipped back to India from Dominica. But, what's going to happen is that Dominica is going to say, look, this is a fight between you guys, Antigua and India. He's an unwelcome guest here. He's a prohibited immigrant, as you are aware. So the one thing that we do with prohibited immigrants is we ship them back where they came from. And that is something which I would like personally. Why, I'll tell you. In as much as I would love him to see him very fast here, but I would want that he goes back to Antigua. And although there is no extradition treaty, he is extradited from there on the basis of evidence, because when you present evidence to an Antiguan court, that is the time you are successful in getting the person back. So when you have established your evidence and when you have succeeded in an international court, and when he comes back to India, then it becomes a much easy case for the prosecution to tell the court that, look, he's already been extradited from there. So all the things have been proven there. And, that judgment weighs on the mind of the court rather than a deportation from Dominica. And when you have to start all the way from scratch here, that, look, this is what he did, this is how he did, etc. So basically the choice is yours. I would prefer an extradition rather than a deportation. But be that as it may, if the top international lawyers out there feel that, he's going to, spend at least 5 years trying to fight it out in Antigua, then he's better that he's deported here and he comes back. But this is something Suesha and Yesha, both of you must try to, get deeper into this. Get deeper. You'll find lot many things. Trust me, this 13,500 scams don't take place without, too many people involved. It's like too many cooks are there to make the broth. Not spoil, but bake the broth here. And they've cooked well.
Valid points you make, Swapnil. And I'm sure Yesha has made a note of that. Himanjali, Yesha, Swapnil, please stay on with us. Important to play out that report that puts out the details of this modus operandi. The man Mehul Choksi, how he was functioning, and how these become very important points as India is battling it out in the Dominican court to bring him back.
For the last 22 days, Mehul Choksi is in the custody of Dominica police. The economic offender who fled India in 2018 after the 13,000 crore rupee PNB scam unravelled is counting down his days to return to India. As the legal battle rages on in the courts of Dominica, Republic uncovers how the scam operated. We noted his address in the FIR copy and tracked him. The mentioned address was this dingy, dilapidated building in Mumbai's Kalwa Devi area. When Republic approached him first, he was reluctant to speak, but when prodded, he revealed the entire modus operandi.
તમે હતા એમાં ડિરેક્ટર હતા તમે કે એમ જ તમારું આવી ગયું છે?
નોન એક્ઝિક્યુટિવ ઇન્ડિપેન્ડન્ટ હતો.
અચ્છા, નોન એક્ઝિક્યુટિવ. હા,
રિઝાઇન આપી દીધું.
અચ્છા.
છતાં હવે આ લોકો તો શું છે, એમને કોક અહીંયા જે છે એને કઈ રીતે ઇન્વોલ્વ કરવા? આપણે બોમ્બેના
ના ના, બરોબર છે. અને શું એ લોકો વયા ગયા હોય તો બધા આવીને તમારે પૂછે એટલે ખાલી ખોટું ઇન્વોલ્વમેન્ટ કરવા માટે સમજી હું એવી રીતે. તો સર એટલે તમારે આપ્યું તો પોઝિશન કે તમે ખાલી એમ જ
ને ઇન્ડિપેન્ડન્ટ એ લોકોને શું છે, ઓલી ફોર્માલિટી હોય ને કંપનીની, એમાં એ લોકોને કોરમ કરવા માટે જોતું હોય ગવર્મેન્ટની કે સિસ્ટમ.
અચ્છા.
કે તમારે ખાલી શું છે, હાજરી ઓલી એટેન્ડન્સ ઓલું કોરમ
પુરાવા માટે. હા,
એટલે મને નોમિનલ મને 3,000 રૂપિયા આપતા હતા પહેલા, 2,500 ને પછી 2,501 મિટિંગ ને પછી 3,000. એ વર્ષમાં 4-5 મિટિંગ થાય.
અચ્છા.
હવે આમાં કંઈ મારો કોઈ
બરોબર છે.
હું શેર હોલ્ડર હતો એમાં.
અચ્છા, તમે શેર હોલ્ડર હતા એમાં.
એટલે હું શેર હોલ્ડરમાં આપણે મળીએ અને મિટિંગ પછી
બરોબર
એના ડાયરેક્ટર કીધું તમારે આવું હોય તો તમને કાંઈ કરવાનું નથી.
હા, એટલે એમાં તમારે ખાલી સાઇન કરવા માટે લઈ જતા હતા.
એટલે મને કહે કે તમારે ખાલી અમારી કોરમ કરવા પૂરતું જોઈએ છે અમને.
અચ્છા.
તમને કંઈ કામ કરવાનું નથી, કંઈ જ નથી. મને આનો કોઈ મારો વિષય નથી.
બરોબર છે.
ફાઇનાન્સમાં કે લોકો શું કર્યું કે કેમ છે.
બરોબર છે.
આપણને ખોટી રીતે.
બરોબર છે. એટલે તમારા જેવા બીજા લોકોને બી સર એવી રીતે કર્યું હશે ને, એ લોકો શેર હોલ્ડરને કોરમ બનાવવા માટે, સાઇન કરવા લઈ જવા માટે.
હા, એવા
ઘણા જણને સર એવી રીતે કર્યું હતું એ લોકોએ.
એમ્પ્લોયરને કર્યું હશે, 2-3 એમ્પ્લોયરમાં કોક વખત મહિલાને મને ખબર પડી કે એ લોકોને બી એ સ્ટાફ હોય કરતા હોય એટલે એને કે તમે આમાં પેલામાં આવો તમે, એટલે અમને કોરમ પૂરતું જોઈએ છે.
અચ્છા, એટલે કોરમ પૂરું કરવા માટે 4-5 લોકોને એવી રીતે કરતા હોય એ લોકો.
બ્યુરો રિપોર્ટ, રિપબ્લિક TV.